This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Today's video is brought to you by Surfshark. In just a few moments, I'm going to talk to you about an offer exclusive to you in my audience, and I want to thank them for supporting my work. I want to talk about Ted Cruz today. In the wake of the shootings in Atlanta and Boulder, Colorado, we expect our politicians to act, to do something, because to do nothing, it's a choice. And it seems that one of the unintended consequences or unexpected consequences of the pandemic is that we didn't have to suffer through these types of tragedies. Absolutely preventable instances of senseless gun violence. Well, Ted Cruz took to the committee that he sits on and ranted and raved like an idiot. Ted Cruz is about as useless as those child warnings on plastic bags that this is not a toy. Ted Cruz is a special kind of clown. I'm going to get into that. We're going to play some clips. We're going to talk about it. But before I do want to talk about today's sponsor, Surfshark. Let's face it, you spend a fair amount of time online. I mean, you're watching my dumb face right now on the internet, which means online security should be a priority for you. There are hackers and other nefarious characters out there waiting to take advantage of all of us online. And the best way to keep ourselves safe online is by using a reputable virtual private network, or VPN. I personally use and recommend Surfshark. And for a limited time, using my link, surfshark.deal/Dollemore, you can get an 83% off of a 2-year plan and 3 extra months completely free. Getting it through my link makes your subscription only $2.21 a month, so you can browse securely on all of your devices, all of them, simultaneously. If you're not using a VPN like Surfshark, all of your data sent over the internet, including passwords, private messages, and all of your credit card numbers, they could be at risk. Surfshark encrypts all those data you send over the internet, protecting it using industry-leading security and data encryption, but doing it while being super simple to use, which for me is important because I got more important things to do than try to fumble around with some complicated user interface. So go to surfshark.deal/Dollemore to get 83% off and know that they are so confident you're going to love your new security, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, let's get back to Senator Ted Cruz. He took to the committee floor, or his chair behind the dais, and ranted and raved like a spoiled, petulant child. In the wake of, again, instances of violence on a scale that nowhere in the world that's not currently at war sees. United States. We're it. We're an outlier. We claim to be the most advanced nation on the planet, the richest, the most innovative. And we're not. We can't solve easily solvable problems, such as this one. Other countries have had the moral courage and the resourcefulness to take care of problems like this. Anyway, I want to play the clip. There's 2 clips. One's very brief. The other one's 2 minutes or so. Let's start with this first clip because it is a remarkable spectacle. Here we go.
We've had far too many tragedies in our country. Once again, we wake up to a horrific act of mass murder. All of us lift up in prayer the families in Boulder, Colorado, the families in Atlanta that lost their lives, including the police officer in Boulder, Colorado. I can tell you in Texas, we've seen far too many of these. I was in Santa Fe the morning of that shooting. Santa Fe High School is less than an hour from my house. I was in El Paso at the Walmart for yet another senseless mass murder. I was in Dallas, where 5 police officers were murdered by a radical. I was in Sutherland Springs, in that beautiful sanctuary where a monster murdered innocent people. I've been to too damn many of these. Senator from Connecticut just said, it's time for us to do something. I agree. It is time for us to do something. And every time there's a shooting, we play this ridiculous theater where this committee gets together and proposes a bunch of laws that would do nothing to stop these murders. Senator from Connecticut just said the folks on the other side of the aisle have no solutions. Well, the senator from Connecticut knows that is false. And he knows that's false because Senator Grassley and I together introduced legislation, Grassley-Cruz, targeted at violent criminals, targeted at felons, targeted at fugitives, targeted at those with serious mental disease, to stop them from getting firearms, to put them in prison when they try to illegally buy guns. What happens in this committee after every mass shooting is Democrats propose taking away guns from law-abiding citizens because that's their political objective. But what they propose, not only does it not reduce crime, it makes it worse. The jurisdictions in this country with the strictest gun control have among the highest rates of crime and murder. When you disarm law-abiding citizens, you make them more likely to be victims.
Look, speaking in serious, hushed tones doesn't make what you're saying serious. It doesn't make what you're saying, it doesn't make you any less of an asshole, Ted Cruz. You just listed off all of these massacres that you visited the aftermath of, and then in the next breath, you vow to do nothing. You rail on against Democrats who want to take away guns from law-abiding citizens. We're not talking about taking away handguns or a shotgun, an implement, a tool for hunting. We're talking about a weapon of war, Ted, which you'd know nothing about since you never served. A moral and physical coward that you are. These are weapons of war. We should ban assault rifles as a starting point, just like we should disallow private law-abiding citizens from owning assault rifles for the same reason that we don't allow law-abiding citizens to own nuclear weapons. You feckless clown. It is that easy. It is that easy. And you're choosing to do nothing, which is, like I said, in itself, a choice. And talking about ridiculous theater, as you're being the most theatric clown in the Senate. The same man who read Green Eggs and Ham on the Senate floor is talking about theatrics. We're talking about high capacity, high velocity rounds that shred through the human body unlike any other weapon. That can cause mass casualty events in the hands of an untrained idiot. And Ted Cruz and his colleagues, they don't want to do anything about it. Now listen, it is time for the Democrats to step up. Get rid of the filibuster, because certainly any legislation that would be brought forward would be filibustered by Republicans. And we need to make a decision here about what kind of a country we want to be. Because if we do nothing and we continue to do nothing, it's a choice we're making that we're okay with hundreds of people dying at the hands of madmen every year. Is that the country we want to be? And it's not just, the blame just can't be put on our elected leaders, certainly a lot of it, but it's on us as voters. It's on the people of Texas. You didn't organize hard enough to get rid of Ted Cruz. It sucks to say it, but it's a fact. There are enough people in Texas who are sick and tired of his games to get rid of him. There are enough people in Kentucky to rid themselves of Mitch McConnell. It just takes organizing. It takes reaching out to people who aren't traditionally the potential voters, making it real to them what their vote can cause, what we can accomplish with their vote. And furthermore, Congress does have the constitutional authority to do something about this. Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, the Interstate Commerce Clause, which reads, among other things, Clause 1, we'll just read right here, the Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises, to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. But all duties, imposts, and excises shall be uniform throughout the United States. And then Clause 3, here we go. To regulate, the Congress shall have the power to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states. This is how we have embarked on several civil rights fights, is the use of the Interstate Commerce Clause. If you own a business and you serve chicken sandwiches, but you don't want Mexicans or black people in your establishment, you won't let them sit at the lunch counter, you've bought products that come from suppliers outside of the state. This is interstate commerce. We're going to you have to provide these levels of services if you're going to do business. It's a basic tenet of constitutional law, the Interstate Commerce Clause. We have the power. The Constitution grants the power to Congress to be able to do something about this. But instead, they want to offer up thoughts and prayers, which leads us to our next clip.
I agree it's a time for actions. And by the way, I don't apologize for thoughts or prayers. I will lift up in prayer people who are hurting, and I believe in the power of prayer. And the contempt of Democrats for prayers is an odd sociological thing.
I hate to break it to you, Teddy. You're not paid to offer thoughts and prayers. You don't derive your salary, sir, for your prayers. You're paid to legislate, to govern, to lead. We're not buying into your culture war nonsense. Democrats are they hate the prayers. It's a sociological blah. Shut up. If thoughts and prayers were getting it done, buddy, we wouldn't have the problem, would we? Think of the millions, the tens of millions or billions of prayers that have been lifted up. And where are we? How did thoughts and prayers over these many years help the people in Boulder, Colorado, who were just going to get groceries at the grocery store? You are a disgusting hack, Ted Cruz. You are abdicating your duty as a sitting United States Senator grandstanding on the stage. Anyway, I'd love to know what you guys think out there. You can call me, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can always email me, daily@dollemore.com. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your engagement. These are tough conversations to have. But nothing of great worth, of great value, of great import, of great impact comes easy. And the first step is having these conversations. Look, I'm not an anti-gun person. I served in the Marine Corps. I do believe people have a fundamental right to protect themselves. Self-defense. If you want to have a handgun or some other type, fine. But it doesn't entail a weapon of war. And don't bring to me some slippery slope argument. Anyway, I'm going to shut up, but I'd love to know what you think. Please call me. I would also ask you to consider supporting my work here on YouTube for as little as $2 a month. Click the join button and become a channel member. If I'm not your flavor, because I'm not for everybody, that is most certain, find someone on the platform who does bring you value and support that person. These times are perilous. And people in my space need as much support as you are able to give. I love you. I'll see you next time. Connect with me on social media. Love to see you there. And be genuine. Please. Take care of one another.